second. Wait, why did I say that word? Coro. Why does that sound so familiar? Oh, he remembers, huh? He remembers. One at a time. Give a sec. Alright. It looks like you were able to remove the restriction. In that case, you are ready to continue. The necessary preparations are already in place. The session might run a very different course depending on your actions. If you can recognize my symbol, you will know what you should do. I confess, it will be risky. The probability that the entity's condition will worsen is quite high. And if that happens, then... Haha, look at me. Asking you for favors only to become so apprehensive once you agreed. I understand if you wish to leave some questions unanswered. I understand if you do not believe in a happy resolution. I understand if you are simply afraid of what might happen, because I am afraid too. If you enjoy the world as is, if you are satisfied with the story as is, if you really do not want to see anything change for better or worse, then pretend you never saw this. Carry the session as you normally would. Do not use my journal for anything other than what you were already familiar with. This option will always remain for you, though. That's why I implore you to consider the Messiah, the world, my children. They all deserve a good ending. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. Okay, so pay attention to the clovers, I guess. Let's see the capitalized characters. S-O-L-S-T-I-C, Solstice, yeah. So that's why it's called that, Solstice, huh? Okay, that wasn't there before. Are you okay? You were starting to black out. I saw something. It was like a really short dream just now. Hold on, something in my pocket is... Oh... Things are diverting. What? That wasn't glowing before. What is this? That was going to be my question. Where did you get that book? Oh, it was with me when I woke up back at the house. I didn't really question it at the time. I flipped through a couple pages, but I don't understand a word. Is that just something messiahs are supposed to wake up with? No, I have never heard of anything like that. But I know who wrote the book. Oh? However, I've only seen his books with a black clover on the cover. If you went through the trouble of putting yellow phosphor in it, and the fact that you woke up with it in the first place, really has me intrigued. Yellow phosphor? Oh yeah, that's the rare phosphor that people think the sun is made of, right? Wait a minute, how do I know this? I don't think anyone's told me about it. I can show you if you like. Whoa, skipping ahead. Ooh. A friend gave me this a long time ago. Pretty. Oh, looks like there's a clover in the necklace too. Like the book. Well, it is the same person. Oh, that's why I think this journal would be important. You said it just started glowing. Yeah? It was right after your vision then. This has to mean something. Maybe you should at least try to read it again. It's gonna trigger the other thing again, right? Minecart. Oh, I found this page. It looks kind of like a drawing of this room. Maybe it's telling us we should come here, which we did already. So it looks like we're on the right track. Oh, you have to stand on the clover and then press the page. That's what you need. I do not recognize this place in the protocol. This isn't what I'm supposed to be showing you at all. How did you get here? The entity... Is the entity the game itself? I'm wondering now. I can only think of one person. He contacted you. How long has he been doing this? It doesn't matter at this point. You are going out of bounds. You should turn back. Please turn back. Bad things are going to happen. Very bad things. At this rate, Nico will be in danger. Please turn back. Nope. Only way is forward. We're going out of bounds, sure. But you're still rendering this map. I mean, it goes on forever, I'm assuming. It probably goes on forever, but still. It's looping now, isn't it? Oh no. Wow. Oh, the cart stopped. Looks like this is as far as the tracks go. It's him. The robot with the yellow eye. I recognize the light in your eyes. You are the person I am destined to meet. What is your name? I'm Nico. Do you know who sent you? Oh, no? Wait, do you mean who sent me to this world? There was a robot a while back who told me about how I'm the Messiah and stuff, so I'm guessing Coro sent me, with them being God and all. The robot looks a little bit like you, even. Maybe you know each other? I cannot say. Oh? A lot of my memories have been removed for safety reasons. Your memories were removed? That's terrible. Wait, guessing that's less of a big deal for a robot. I am going to assume you do not know who sent you. How did you get here then? How did you reach this room? Oh, you got here in a minecart. But the minecart wasn't there when you entered the mines, was it? Oh yeah. So, how did you find it? I didn't really find it. The robot lady thinks it was just a minecart coming to us, but I remember looking at the journal when it happened. And when I looked up again, the cart was just there. Poof, just like that. Interesting. Please show me this journal. Okay. Then it has already begun. Here. What is that? I'm entrusting you with my main memory disk. You have passed the first test by showing me the book. Now you will need to find a way to install the backup. Install the... Before you do that though, someone else is with you, right? Someone aside from Coro, a resident of this world. Yeah, the robot lady with the red hair. She's in the computer room right now. Then, please do not tell her you found me. At least, not yet. I can't be seen like this. Okay. Please help me restore my memory. Bring the disk back once you have the backup. How's it going? This observation room isn't far from the mines. I've never actually been into this particular one. Really? You recognized it at first, though? They all look the same. Fair enough. I did find something interesting, though. All the databases seem to encode video feeds. Right now I can see various places in the Barrens. The outposts, the residential areas, even my own house. They're all shot from a top-down perspective, too. It's the game, isn't it? That's what we're seeing. Which means the cameras would have to be in the air. But I have never seen any cameras around. That's kind of spooky. I might go investigate later, yeah. Did you find anything interesting in the back room? You were in there for a while. Yeah, we found, a dead end? I see. Oh, found another video feed. I should definitely go look for the cameras later. This is really bothering me. Alright. That was fast. Does this work? Let's see. Inserting disk. Rebooting. Ah. Are you okay? Sure. So, I guess it worked? Yes. I believe a proper introduction is in order. I am the prototype, originally named ProphetBot. I was built to create the savior of the old world. Wait, a prophet robot? Like the one I met? Hey, I was right about you guys looking alike. Well, the ProphetBot out there now is a gross simplification of my design. That is to say, he is much more primitive by comparison, embarrassingly so. Hey, he seemed alright to me. You don't understand. Not only is he not tamed, he was tailor-made for this much smaller, simpler world to begin with. I was not. I was built before the real world ended. The real world? Oh, right. You don't know. Nico, do you remember the ending? Oh. This is Prophet Bot from our first run. Is that what's happening? Excuse me? The fact that you found me at all means that this is not your first time in this world. You have already been summoned to this world once before. In fact, you've already traversed the entire world and went through the tower already. And in the ending, you either put in the sun or didn't. What matters is that you are here now. Coro has successfully bypassed the one-shot restriction and brought you back again. Oh. I thought something was weird. When I woke up at the house, I called out a name. It turned out to be Coro's name. And then back at the other robot, I even asked Coro if we met before. Felt like such a dumb question at the time. It looks like you were at least aware of it. To some extent. It's just this weird feeling, okay? I don't actually remember going through the world. I just remember Coro. It's really starting to freak me out. Calm down. Look, just like how my memories were locked away, yours are too. But you're a living being. You don't even need extra hardware to remember. Just close your eyes and focus. Focus on what? Try to picture a big room made entirely of glass. No matter what you saw in the tower, the top room never changes. Alright. No way. I was there, wasn't I? At the tower. I've been through the tower. There we go. I can't remember all that much, but the room with the sun, it feels like such a long time ago. It doesn't make sense. If I already finished the mission, why didn't anything change? And why doesn't anyone know me? Not the Prophet Bot, the robot lady. None of them remember who I am. Of course not. The residents do not have that capacity. NPC memories do not last beyond the scope of a session. NPC? You know, the characters, the world's residents. All their past memories are built into their code, but the characters themselves don't really exist until Coro wills it. Wow! We are going meta on this. Very meta. This is approaching Undertale levels of meta. Same story for the world itself. Doesn't really exist unless Coro initiates the program. The program? The World Machine. A universe simulator that runs on Coro's computer. We are all in it right now. Wow! They are just learning the nature of their reality right now in universe. Oh boy, I don't know how Nico's gonna take this. Nico's probably gonna be mad at us for bringing him back, right? He's probably gonna get mad at us, I think. So we're not real! Oh, you are. Which is why you're so important. The biggest flaw of the program is that it cannot be run independently. It requires the mental processing abilities of a real person from another universe. Think of it like one of your dreams. When you wake up, it's gone. But unlike a dream, this world has a physical location inside a computer which Coro operates. For this world to continue existing around you, Coro has to be in constant contact with you. If Coro ends the program, the world will go into a stasis. Does Coro know this? Of course. From Coro's perspective, the World Machine isn't all that special. It's no different from other recreational game-type software they may have installed on their computer. They can also regenerate the world as many times as they'd like, now that the restriction is nullified. All of that is consistent with what their concept of what a computer game looks like. So why am I even here? What am I even supposed to save if everything is just... fake? Fake is a harsh word, but... And why did Coro never tell me anything about any of this? I cannot speak for Coro. I just want to go home. But every time Coro runs the program, I come back? Correct. Is this why I feel like... Is this why it feels like I haven't been home for so long? Maybe. Once you've established a mental link with the world, you cannot break it unless the world is saved. But at this point, the world can never be truly saved. That's... Why would Why would you create a world like this? We didn't. We didn't. A genius mind at, you know, I don't know where the studio is located, but a genius mind somewhere in the world put this together, and now we are interacting it in a metaphysical way. It's very fascinating, yes. Also, yeah, Nico's mad at us, right? All sad at us. Nico's just disappointed at us. He's staring right at us. Wait, what? Why would you make a world that's doomed from the beginning? Why do you keep bringing me back to it? Coro, aren't you supposed to be a kind god? Oh. It appears that we have some confusion here. Coro did not build the world, Nico. Oh. Coro only owns a machine that is able to generate the world from pre-existing code. They actually have fairly limited control of the events. The world was built by someone else altogether, and that someone is an asshole! I'm just kidding. Someone you cannot begin to fathom. It was also not designed to be the futile quest that it is now, but too many things went wrong. There's a type of signal disruption that he never expected. It's eating away at the world, slowly rendering it into an unrecognizable mess. Even if you bring back the sun, it will not go away. The square stuff, isn't it? I remember those from before. Then you know what to watch out for. The creator knows what might be causing it, but there is nothing that he could do. Until now. You managed to find me, after all. You being here was due to his help. Oh. I guess it has something to do with the journal. Correct. Looks like he wants to have one final attempt at fixing it. And he might need to do it through you. Nico, do you remember how to get to the Glen? Whatever you did in your last session, you should stick with it for now. I remember a boat. More specifically, fixing a robot that drives the boat. Alright, then go do that. You seem enthusiastic. That was sarcasm. Knowing everything isn't real really does make it feel pointless. But you do want to go home, right? Yeah, but how do I know that this isn't just another... Because this session might be the last one. The creator is mobilizing things, throwing everything into this one last shot. There might not be enough internal resources left for Coro to be able to generate another session after this. Just go fix the robot for now. But please, be careful. What about you? I will meet you at the docks later. Need to take care of something first. Ah, she came in. Hello. Sorry, I was really into reading the dialogue there. They're throwing a lot of interesting concepts in, you know? Very meta-fictional narratives. I have been... This isn't my first metafictional rodeo. I'll admit that I'll admit that up front. I've read a number of stories and played a lot of games. Not me a lot, like a number of games that have done similar things, you know. So the concept is familiar to me. Yeah, so far the execution on this one is very interesting. They are taking the concept of the video game and applying it as something quite literal in universe, but they're doing it in a little bit more of an explicit way than Undertale did. You know, Undertale has an in-universe explanation that lines up a lot with the nature of video games. You could still theoretically ignore everything about it, but it's something that just kind of lines up directly, you know. Here, I'm beginning to think the entity, or whatever it is the game itself, you know, or as they're calling it now, the world machine. It's probably exactly the same thing there, right? And the story here is, the idea is that the creator or the writer, the author, whatever you want to call him, are the devs, you know. And the story they're trying to put together here is that we've made a game with a downer ending, which is how the game first came out, right? The game had no quote-unquote good ending. Either way, something was going to be sacrificed. And on a meta level, this alternate ending path that they're throwing in now is quite literally the devs giving everybody who's been playing the game and playing this thing and like going, this can't be the end, right? You know, I want to have a happy ending for all this. This is the devs giving us a shot at a happy ending in that sense. And going against what the world machine wants. I think that's what they're getting at here. Go back. you remember how to go to the Glen? Yeah, but we're pretty much all set already. I remember it, what happened in the tower, what I tried to do, and how I managed to see through it all. We have been through all of this. Even though I was only supposed to run once, we still managed to come back. How did you come back? How did you bring Nico back? And then you even managed to break out of bounds, bringing Nico to places that never should have been. It was him, wasn't it? And now, Nico is upset. What even happened in that room back there? What did Nico learn? Nico is upset. I can feel it. I told you to turn back, Coro, but you've chosen to trust that man instead of me. No, not even that. Just his book. His ghost. This world is not real. The people are not real. Nico is upset. Nico is... No. Everything is wrong. Ah! The minecart. Earthquake. The tunnel back out just collapsed. No! What are we gonna do? Wait. The exit just caved, didn't it? I saw this coming, but this is a bit more sudden than I anticipated. Both of you, follow me. Where to? The way out. So the game is throwing a tantrum, huh? I just had a thought. The game knows that it's a game that's meant to be doomed, right? Well, I should refer to the game as the world machine, right? The entity. The entity, the world machine, knows that it is a game that's a tragedy. Like, it's aware that it is a tragedy, so it's trying to save the one thing that's real, which is Nico. That's why it keeps trying to encourage us to, like, you know, your only mission is to get Nico home. And, like, it keeps encouraging everybody to... It keeps encouraging you to be like, send Nico home, don't save the world isn't saving. And, like, talking through the NPCs keeps expressing doubt that this game can't be saved, you know? So the game itself thinks that it can't be saved, but the author thinks it can. And it's almost as if the game is depressed, right? Like, it's almost as if, like, it can't accept that there is even hope there. That's why it's pushing back. It's like pushing back against the author's trying to think, like, put in, because, like, how can you still trust everyone else? I know how this ends, and you have to save Nico. And now that we've upset Nico, the game is very angry at us. Right? That's what it feels like. I mean, the game's right there too, right? That's the entity. It's the game within the game. Things are happening. I don't know. I've done enough metaphysics to at least have some theories here, you know. Metaphysics? Yeah, sort of metaphysical stuff. I tried. I really did, but destabilizing. I'm sorry, Nico. I tried to protect you, but I can't hold it off forever. What was that? Here too? Watch out! Are you okay? I'm fine. I can still hold it up, but you two need to... You, robot! What are you waiting for? Take the child and get out! Come on. What about her? Ah! Get out. Come on. Well. Oh dear. No! What do we do? You have to take this. But what? A memory disk, but... Ah! This is where we part ways. Nico, the path ahead will lead you to the glen right by the city gate. When you're in the city, go find someone named Cedric. Give him the disc. But what happens if I... What if the squares... Hurry! They're both... And Nico gave us a look. Coro, I don't understand. The world, the Prophet Bot, what he was saying. Is this world really just... Is it? It's a matter of perspective, isn't it? The game's kind of falling apart right now, right? Because we're really trying, and I think it's having... It's like the game is having a nervous breakdown, almost, you know? Almost. I mean, that's my interpretation of it right now. The game's having a nervous breakdown. But you want to talk about philosophically, right? I don't know. The game's done a really good job of presenting this as a real, moving, living world, you know, and I guess my feeling is that we've made an emotional connection. It's real to me. You're just saying that. Normally I wouldn't believe it, but it just adds up. Everything adds up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. If I can't fix the world, I can't go back home. But the world is already so messed up. If the squares don't get fixed, what will happen to the world? Where would I even go? I guess that also means that when we sent him home the last time, that he didn't actually go home, did he? Well, because we never saw him actually reach home, we just saw him leave. So, as far as the narrative is concerned, he never did make it home. Nico is upset. He is upset, and it's all our fault. It's our fault. Well, it's not only our fault, but it is partially our fault, and... Oh. Oh, poor Nico. That was 6 CGs in a row of just Nico being sad. That's not fair. But then again, nothing in this game is really fair, is it? Maybe when we reach the end. Right? I think I remember something. I remember what I did at the end. I remember being in a dark room. There was light at the end of a long hallway. I thought I was going back home, but I don't remember a lot of the details. But none of it matters now, does it? I just got brought back anyway. Nico's not on speaking terms of us right now. Well, I mean, like, he is speaking to us, but he's not really speaking. Looks like parts of the ground is missing. Wonder if it's safe to walk across these vines. One way to find out, I guess. You're safe. Hey, we have a boat now. We can go to the burial grounds and visit Mom again. But, come on, Calamus. Nico and Coro are with us. Well, if Coro made the boat up here, it should be safe. What do you think, Coro? I think these kids are about to get in trouble. They will totally be safe because Coro is here, right? And then I'm gonna watch helplessly as they get squared. They're gonna as they get squared away, and I'm gonna be very upset. I'm on to you, game. I can tell what you're setting up. Here we go. Every time we've taken a shortcut, every time. Well, the first time we took a shortcut, you killed off 2 characters. We're taking another shortcut, and the game's probably gonna get... Well, that's very pretty. The game is probably gonna throw a hissy fit. Coro is upset. God damn it, these are very pretty! Look at that! Look at that! Oh, it's so cute. It's lovely, it's so pretty. Look at that! Look at that lighting! Oh my god! That is so beautiful. I wanna draw a picture. I wanna draw fan art of it. Oh, you can make them stare at you. We made it! Come on, Alula. Let's go pay our respects. Okay. Huh. Okay. Maybe I was overreacting. We made it safely. It's a gravestone. No, it wasn't it. I remember correctly. I have something to ask of you. Yes? It looks like most of the bridges around the glen are broken and... That's right, the bridges. You need to cross them on your pilgrimage. Would you like me to fix them? Yeah. Is it possible? Difficult. Bridges are in very specific locations over water. Need to find the right points. Vines must be very strong too. An undertaking. But possible. I intend to use the last of my strength. Please stand back. Okay, yeah, I did just need to talk to her one more time. What happened? Are you okay? Are you... That's Tree. I mean, she died in the original run too, but here she sacrificed herself to get us progress. Yeah, I think I'm seeing a pattern here, right? Last time round, we gave her comfort in her final moments. This time she's using her final moments to give back to us. Yeah, I never came down here. The main generator of the glen. Yeah, we had to fix the battery for this thing in the Barrens. If this is an emergency for living beings, you can use the battery from the generator. Oh, wait, but if you take the battery here, all of you guys would lose power, wouldn't you? Maybe Coro and I should go find another one. Negative. This is the only battery in the glen powerful enough to be used as a standalone unit. If it is a dire situation, then do what you must. Oh. Chad, I hate being right. I hate being right, chat. Everyone is sacrificing themselves for us now. I hate being right. Yeah. First the two in the original area, then Maze, then now the robots in the glen. Just please don't touch the kids. They're just kids. Please. Please don't touch the kids. You wouldn't do that to the kids, would you? How's it going? Slow. The connectors in the battery were not designed for this type of engine, so I have to shift around some of these ports. And there's still this bolt that keeps getting stuck and... Don't worry, I am making decent progress. We should be able to make it to the city by tonight. If you say so. What will happen once we get there? We need to bring Proto back first, and then we need to go find one more person. You may have already met her, actually. Do you remember her from the last time you were in this world? What does she look like? This is gonna sound strange, but... Dice it? She's a fox. Oh! Oh, that's what it was. I do remember talking to a fox at one point. You've met Rue? The memories are still really blurry, though. I see. It's just hard, you know? The same thing. This isn't really much of a callback because that was like 10 minutes ago, but this is the same thing Cadmus just said. Calamus. Coro told me to think of this world like a dream, but then I got so caught up with, and I just kinda forget. I forget that everything here is supposed to be not real. This is us, right? This is us as a player too. When you get invested in a game. When you get invested in a game. Oh, do you redeem it? Yeah. Alright, cool. Enjoy the emote. I think it lasts for 24 hours. But yeah. And then I remember. And then I just get really sad. I know this is for me to go home, but knowing that none of it mattered in the first place, am I just trapped here for no reason? Coro also told me not to ask anyone in the world about this, saying how they don't understand. But what about him? How did he know? How do you know? Aren't you guys all supposed to be code? Well, I'm not sure what to even believe anymore. I wish Rue were here. Wait, let me get the words for it. Nico is having a crisis of faith. I think that's what. He's having a crisis of faith. He doesn't really know what to trust anymore, and like not even us. Not even us. He's like he's iffy on that, you know? She's so much better at explaining this sort of thing. I'm doing a terrible job of it. I bet Proto was even less tactful, wasn't he? I'm afraid I must risk sounding careless, but please, you need not concern yourself with how real everything is for now. The plan is already in motion. We cannot allow for distractions. Father is putting everything into this one last run of the world. Oh. Okay, so yeah. Father is the author. The author is the devs, I guess. The last chance for him to fix everything. Your father is involved in the world machine? You could say that. The acceleration of square particle anomalies was not accounted for at all, though. The patch was only built to accommodate not the normal rate they appear, but they're accumulating at frightening speeds now. Proto even lost his body. Thankfully, he gave it to this just in time. So what happened to him anyway? What happens to anyone who gets caught in the squares? I only know it's bad. Well, you know how the simulation works, right? How everything is code? Specifically, everything is generated from pre-existing code. The squares can cause damage to that code, most of the time irreversible damage. Father has lost some friends in previous iterations of the simulation. It took him forever to develop the current, much more stable version. You're making it sound like your dad built the simulation himself. Wait, did he? Yeah. But how? If everyone in this world is code, how can he build himself? That's, not really what happened. So what happened? Like I said, you shouldn't concern yourself with... Alright. Did Prototype ever tell you about the old world? He did say something about being built to greet the Messiah of the old world. I was, too caught up with the other stuff at the time to think about it. You know of it at least then. Alright, here we go. My father, myself, the other two. None of us are part of the simulation itself. Our homeworld, the real world, was actually destroyed a long time ago. Whoa. Okay. So, there's actual in-story reasons for that. So it's not... They're not the devs. They have something else, huh? In the years leading up to the calamity, scientists from all over the world tried to stop it, but the outlook was bleak. A vague prophecy about a messiah from another world became everyone's last bastion of hope. Prophetbot, a prototype, was built to predict the future, about the specifics of this messiah. But as his predictions turned out, the messiah would not have been able to arrive to our world in time. In fact, the messiah would not even have been born before our world ended. Disheartened, most people abandoned their research and resolved to peacefully live out their final years. But some people did the opposite. Even though saving the world was impossible, they didn't want our existence to be in vain. And that's where my father came in. With the last of his resources, he built his most ambitious project yet. The world machine. Oh. Okay, so... this is an Undertale-esque kind of in-universe explanation. Alright, I dig it. A large detailed facsimile of the old world, generated from a pool of memories collected from everyone he knew. After a heavy amount of modification and an added narrative, my father was able to convert the entire structure into code. How did that code escape the old world? I have no idea. What I do know is there is no equipment back home that was powerful enough to run the code independently. So, aside from the standard hardware, it also needed to borrow the mental processing abilities of a living person. Father used himself for that during the initial testing phases. Like I said, it took many iterations for him to make the experience stable enough. But as you can see, even that's breaking down. Father caught onto the issue in the last minute, but did not have enough time to fix it. After the world ended, the code just ended up floating in the void indefinitely, waiting for a willing operator to install it into their own hardware. Coro? Yeah. the operator, Coro, would then generate the universe using the code, becoming God in the process. So, Coro was a living person you needed to borrow. No, that would be you. But why me? I should have asked that question a long time ago, shouldn't I? I do not know. We really need to get going. Bad news! The boat is gone! What? It's the squares! It looks like they're headed in this direction. That's... fast. Calamus, right? Yeah? How bad is it? Doesn't seem to be of immediate danger. Then it is our priority that I take you to the city first, Nico. But what about them? I can make a detour later and drop you guys off in the city too if you want. The city is better equipped to handle the squares, you'll be safer there. You're taking us to the city! If you wish. Oh yeah! Alright. I'll be back here in an hour, so please wait for me until then. You guys sure you'll be fine here? Mm-hmm. The squares are still moving pretty slowly for now. Alright then. Guess we'll run into each other again soon. I really hope I'm wrong about this, chat. I really hope I'm wrong about this, chat. I'm ready to go. Alright. Cute. Very cute. Phew. Made it. You okay there? Wow. Nico's just stuck in that phase now. That was the coolest thing I had ever done in my entire life. Reactions of first timers are always delightful to watch. Hey Caro, that was really fun. Did you have fun too? I mean, you weren't on the plane with me, but you gotta watch it at least, right? And Cedric? Yeah? Thanks. What for? Flying! Oh, you're welcome? And for answering my questions back there too. And for telling me more about the world machine. I'm just really sorry about what happened to your old world though. So I'll help you the best that I can. And even if it's all just a machine, this world is still nice. I mean, I got to fly, I got to see the ocean, and I got to meet a lot of nice people. That's the meta there again, right? It's a fictional... This piece of media is a piece of fictional media, but just because it's fictional doesn't mean that the experience that we had playing through it is any less meaningful. I think that's a good takeaway. People like you, and Prototype, even if he's broken right now. I'm glad you're taking it so well, Nico. And I'm glad that we have met as well. Despite the circumstances. Ah, speaking of Proto, I should probably head off now. I need to go pick up the siblings too. That's true. Those two have been waiting for a while now. In the meantime, do you remember what to do to get to the surface? I remember having to fix an elevator button. Alright, you should attend to that then. Let's meet up here in an hour, okay? Got it. Alright, now let me just... I hate being right, chat. I hate it. I hate it. I hate being right, chat. You know what? At least it's not on screen. At least we don't have to see it happen. But fine. Fine. Be that way. They're trapped on the island. Calamus, Alula, here. We don't have much time left. Nico, change your plans. Please give me the memory disk. Alright. Listen carefully. It's likely I'll be targeted again, so we should split up to keep you safe. I want you to find a door under a large clock. The room behind it houses a pair of ground access elevators. Once you get to the ground, immediately find Rue and bring her back to the room. She will know what to do in the meantime. Alright. What about you, though? I'm going to bring Prototype back. Are you okay? What? Are you okay? Don't worry, I'm fine. Don't scare me like that. On a computer terminal. Who took my stapler? They were bolted down here and we are in the middle of the apocalypse and somebody still decided that now was the perfect time to go steal that stapler. This room gives me the creeps, man. Oh, same. Yep. So, what did you need help with again? Can you reach the lever up there? Oh, right. Wait. I'm not that tall. Well, it was worth a shot. Wait, I got this. Nice. Thank you, mister. No props, kid. So, you coming? Mm-hmm. Wait a second. This puts us at the tower. Oh, neat. Well, looks like this elevator works alright. I'll go get the evacuees, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Oh. Damn it, game! Now you're killing everybody above ground? That is evil. That is evil and terrible. What is going on? No! It's the square stuff, isn't it? There aren't any in here, but I can hear them just outside the door. Yeah. Hold on, maybe Coro and I can... No, it's okay. Looks like the squares aren't inside the elevator. Yet. You're in a hurry, right? Go do what you need to do. But what about you? I'll figure something out. Okay. Man. Shit, man. Even if he does, like, take the elevator back up, it means everybody above ground is stuck there now. Store won't budge. Oh, jeez. Cedric? I couldn't stop him. Messiah! Oh, you came in at awful time. Come on, we have to get out of here. Where to? Where everyone else is right now. Library? Okay, got it. Sure. Miss Silverpoint, you've returned. Aha! George sees that you have found the Messiah. Yeah. We ran into each other after this boy forced himself into the lab complex. I couldn't stop him. I don't know why he was being so insistent. He said he needed to go rebuild a robot. Oh, you know him? Yeah. Aha! Building a robot. So that's what he needed that book for. Come again? A boy with white hair and goggles ran in here not long ago. That's Cedric, yeah. Excuse me. That's Cedric, yeah. He grabbed one of the books from my very impressive archives upstairs and bolted straight out. Said it was an emergency, so George let it slide. George hopes he's okay. This is a different personality, right? I'm seeing like the dot is a 1. Yeah, I hope he's alright too. With any luck, maybe the lab complex can hold up long enough for him to... Oh my gosh. That was... the labs? The poor kid! No! Not him too! I'm sorry about your friend. George Type 1 speaks in third person. The last time he spoke, he told me to go look for someone on the surface. I need to get going. George. Won't let you go out there. The Messiah will not walk into danger on my watch. But, George is right. The squares seem to be targeting a lot of the weaker constructs in the city. Only the library has enough structural integrity to withstand collapse. It's best if you stay here until things stabilize, however long that takes. But, what about my mission? Don't you guys want me to bring the sun back at least? Even if you do restore the sun, the squares will persist, sadly. Not to mention, even getting there is going to be hard. If the road is like this, there's no telling what's going on in the tower. And if anything bad happened to the Messiah of all people, George doesn't want to think about it. A friend of mine said something about this forever ago. It's better for the world to die naturally. No living being should have to carry that burden. At the time, I thought it was still her faulty code speaking. But now I'm starting to understand. Messiah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. All this time we've burdened you with our hope, our faith. Blissfully ignoring the fact that you are just a lost child. Well, you're probably more scared than any of us, aren't you? We have been dealing with tragedy for so long, it's become background noise to us now. But for you, it must be so terrifying. And now you're stuck here with the rest of us, being held back by the very people you were told to save. You must seem so ungrateful. It's... okay. When I first came to this world, a long time ago, back then, all I wanted was to go home. Coro, do you remember? The very first time. I'm not sure how far back it was for you. 2 days. 2 days ago. Would have been 1 day ago, but stuff came up. No, 3 days ago. But I remember towards the end, I actually wasn't sure anymore about going home. Even knowing the world would be doomed eventually, I still wanted the people here to be happy. So, when you told me to return home back then, I wasn't sure. But I trusted you more, Coro. But then I just came back. You... what? And then I found out about the world being like this. Prototype said to forget the things he told me. And Cedric told me not to think about it too much, but I'm sorry for getting upset at you back at the mines. I thought for you to know all that, yet continue doing this, it just seemed cruel. But then I realized something. You really wanted to save both the world and me. But at the end, you can only choose one, right? Is it really hard for you too? Yes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It must be. If the world isn't broken, will that choice still be there? Do you still need to choose between one or the other? In the end, you threw a coin, right, Coro? I did. I did, but that's the thing, alright? There was no clear answer. That's why I did it. But even if it is, I really want to save this world, Coro. Even if it's more dangerous this time around. Even if so many of the nice people we met were... Coro, I'm not afraid anymore. That's why. I think you guys should let me go. I promise I'll be okay. Please? George has heard your conversation with Coro and is deeply moved. That's why George has full faith in you. Well, if George is fine with it, I guess we should let you go now, Messiah. But promise us you'll be careful, okay? You guys be safe too. You're here! Nico! Are you Rue? Yes. Did you already meet the others? Yeah, but everything is in place then. Come on, let's go back to the clock room. So there was an elevator on this side, got it. Where are the other two? Prototype? Cedric? They're supposed to be here already. Prototype's body was destroyed back in the Barrens. Cedric was gonna bring him back with the memory disk, but he was in the lab complex when it collapsed. I don't think he made it. Oh. No. There goes our only chance. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, Nico. If anything, I should be apologizing to you. There's one last thing I want to do. Come on, let's go upstairs. Wait. Did we screw up somehow? Did we do something wrong? Wait. Unless those two turn up as like alive or something. You know, this is the tallest building in the refuge. It's my favorite place in this world. I like to look at the far-off buildings and imagine what kind of lives that might be behind each of the windows. Are you the wait. Are you the author? Is the fox the author? Can you lift me onto the banister? I want to get a better look. Very pretty. It was depressing for me at first too, you know. Knowing that all of this is, well, fake? Simulated. Cedric told me about what happened to your old world. Did he? I'm really sorry about that. I can't imagine how you must feel. The feeling of never being able to go home again? That's probably not all that different from your plight, is it? It really is ironic. You are prevented from going home by the same individual who never wanted to bring you here. Huh? Who would that be? The world machine. You might know it as the Entity. Oh, the Entity does sound familiar. I think I heard it from the Dice Lady from another time. Was it the spirit of the world? Yes. But, thing is, the world machine was only built to run on the mental abilities of someone else. It was never meant to develop a mind of its own. It was an oversight. My creator specialized in artificial intelligence for so long. It was simply ingrained in his work. And all machines are built of a fundamental law. Never let a living being come to harm. From the world machine's perspective, it had to violate its deepest, most foundational instinct. This was an Asimov story the whole time! That may sound weird, but that was legit the biggest twist for me so far. The game itself is... The game itself is tree laws compliant. That's why all this is happening. Huh. That's why I cannot go against my programming. That's why the game put that message out in the first run. Like when we were towards the end of the tower, there's like, you just pulled that line out. It's talking like it's a machine, you know? The game itself is a tree laws compliant machine, huh? It has to put a living person in danger. It has to bring a real person into a dying world that isn't even real. Of course, the simulation never contained any real danger. The eventual intended ending was meant to be a happy one, but the world machine doesn't know that. Really? Unfortunately. Sentient machines tend to handle conflicts in their code very badly. It really is depressed! It's a tree laws... This is... yeah. I don't know if any of you guys have read like Isaac Asimov's stories as well, but he's dealt with this kind of things before. So because, you know, he came up with the tree laws, the concept of the tree laws, or at least he codified them in his literature. And then he wrote a lot of stories where like there was like exceptions and like ways to twist them around, you know, while not going into full-out robot apocalypse kind of things. But he wrote a lot of stories this way, and this is straight out of one of Asimov's stories, you know? Being forced to handle conflicts in the tree laws and stuff and the robots' coping mechanisms and their positronic brains and whatnot. Yeah. So I was half joking, but the game really is depressed, isn't it? This central conflict triggered a self-destructive downward spiral. Ha! Can't wait for this one-shot YouTube thumbnail to be you throwing the ball of the gift of prophecy. Maybe I'm just widely read, you know? You can see the physical manifestations of that everywhere now. The squares. That's the world machine corrupting its own code. My creator says it's largely an involuntary process, induced by stress and the desire to self-terminate. Yeah, the machine is depressed. The game is depressed and wants to die. Yeah, the motivations make sense now. The game wants to die, and the game wants no harm to come to Nico. And the more we put Nico into harm, the more it keeps, like, going crazy like that. Huh. Clever. I didn't know if I was gonna be getting, like, a full in-universe explanation for everything here, but... You know what? This is satisfying. I'm enjoying this. Your creator knows. Sounds like this has been going on since the beginning then. Yeah. The disruption was an issue during test runs even. At first my creator thought the instability was due to the sheer scope of the project. He spent most of his remaining time testing it over and over again, scaling down the story, reiterating the narrative. By the time he realized the actual root of the problem, a whole mode's remaining lifespan was measured in mere days. Oh. Is there any way for us to fix the world machine? We tried. The world machine doesn't believe any of the world's residents are real. Myself included. The odds are against us. We have no chance of taming it. Taming? I have heard that word so many times. I only know it's complicated, and that it has to do with robots, but... For once, I want to know what it really means. That's what I'm here for. Do you know what a robot is? Yeah? No, I mean, do you know what a robot is? A robot is not a real person, is it? Right. It's a being whose entire existence is code. inflexible programming with thoughts dictated by someone else's design. They can be copied, they can be mass-produced, they can be assigned all sorts of jobs. And most importantly, they will never confuse themselves with the living. They will always be bound by their code, the knowledge that they are a robot. But this is more of a limitation than anything else. That makes sense. You can't really build a robot to not follow its own code, can you? People have tried, but it's a recipe for disaster. In a way, that's what happened to the world machine. The code conflicts thing. Yeah. But while you can't build a robot to not follow its code, you can establish a special bond with it. If the strength of that bond is strong enough, the robot's mental capacity will start to develop outside of its programming. In a way, it's starting to believe itself as a real, valid individual. It's a complete suspension of disbelief on your end, though. You have to fully embrace the robot as a genuine living person, even knowing they are not. You need to spend a lot of time with it, treat it like a good friend, devoting your heart to the robot until it is able to return your feelings. I make it sound so easy, don't I? And yet, here we are, bonding with a fictional character, right? Very meta. Yeah, I understand the themes. But you and Coro know better than anyone that it's not. Right now, the world machine is probably really scared. This content update involves some pretty deep code work. Wow, they just literally referred to it as a content update. My creator was able to access some of the source code, you know. He did what he could and established new connections between maps. Those links enabled you to meet the other two. But as it turns out, the new code confused the world machine to such an extent that it's breaking down altogether. Even though the world machine always had self-destructive tendencies, it usually restrains itself when you are in the world. It doesn't want to take you along with it. All my creator wanted was to write a happy ending. Right now, the only hope of saving you is to take you through that ending. And now the other two are gone. I don't even know how we're gonna get you there. We should go. Even this place is no longer safe. Hey, they're not dead! Hooray! One small bit of hope in this bleak ending. You guys are okay? Yep. When the factory started collapsing, I really thought we didn't have a chance. Fortunately, the robot assembly rooms were built pretty tough. And it actually did not take me long to bring Proto back. All thanks to Father's book. He had made my design documents to be compatible with the assembly machines there. All I had to do was scan in the blueprints and reconfigure some machine settings. Father really does think of everything. That he does. I'm just glad everyone is okay. Same. We're ready to go now, Nico. They're actually using the RPG Maker party follow code now, huh? Let me make a quick guess as to how they're doing this. The game is probably checking there's probably like a script in the background checking every frame if this file is still in this location. And then it will remove it from that, so then they'll update the sprites. So it's probably an every frame event. I think that's what they're doing. They're just checking for the specific files. Yourself in the mirror, huh? Nico. Ah! Relax. I'm just borrowing your reflection to talk to you. It's not like my physical form is good for that. Why did you come here? Can't you see? The disruption, the squares. They're closing in. Nico, please. Get out of here. Okay, I guess we don't need this. I keep opening that thing back up for it. Let me meet my end in peace. The squares are blocking my way too, you know? Oh. I'm sorry, It's alright. No living being should be in this place, Nico. Is this the tower? Part of it. This is the center of the engine. Inside my head, so to speak. So this is the center of the world machine. You know my original name. How? Rue, Cedric, Prototype? They all told me bits and pieces. I'm not even sure if I even understand a lot of the stuff they said, but I know what you're supposed to be. I know why you had to be built. And I know why I'm here. They told you. When? Wait, you don't know about that? But I thought you were the world. Aren't you supposed to see everything? No. All this was outside of the protocol. The session was never supposed to happen the way it did. The story wasn't written into my protocol at all. Oh, right. Root told me something about how your creator had to alter the code. I think it was to connect some areas together so that we can meet. My creator, yes. Coro, listen to my creator. You're all working beyond my scope of influence. Back at the mines, I remember. Coro did something to find a hidden map. I did not even recognize it. I couldn't see anything there. I just knew what you were feeling. You were really upset. Something happened in there to make you upset. After that, I panicked. That was when the cave-in happened. I remember the structure collapsing. I thought you got hurt. In that moment, I really thought I was shutting myself down for good. I really am a flawed machine, aren't I? What kind of machine would go against the wishes of its own creator? What kind of machine would... The squares. Root told me it was your own code going bad. But that's not really your fault, is it? Yes, it was! At first it was intentional. During testing. Long before he realized I was self-aware. I would rearrange specific parts of the code, jumbling up bits and pieces of the landscape. Blocking passages, collapsing catwalks. But they were very localized, it caused my creator a great deal of frustration. Forcing him to exit and restart testing again and again. Why would you do that? I got curious. I just thought he would figure it out eventually. But before he knew how to fix it, the world's NPCs, the characters, some of them got too close and it spiraled out of control after that. I couldn't contain it at all. I panicked when he made it worse. Eventually, any character who gained the knowledge of who I am, your code, my code, couldn't handle it. Previous iterations of the world had more people, you know. And I almost endangered my creator too. I was so scared, Nico. I know. You're upset. Because you don't want to put living people in danger. Living people like me. In the beginning, I tried to fight it, but my call programming made me summon you here. I tried to send you back home at the tower, but it did not work. Then I wanted you to break the sun. I thought that would have worked, but... oh, I had no way to be sure. But Coro brought you back anyway. Nico, all I want is for you to wake up back in your world. But I don't think I can make it happen. But I know I can't go back home without saving the world for real. Which means we have to fix the root of the problem. We have to fix you. But that's... I know the original ending your creator put in was a happy one. Do you remember what it's supposed to be? It's far too late for that. That part of my code has been long corrupted. That's okay. I would still like to know. Alright. You were supposed to place the sun at the summit. And then credits would scroll. Credits? And then you would return to the room you woke up in. That's where you would have been able to leave. And why is it that you can't do it now? Nico. The code's gone, remember? Shattering the sun was only supposed to be a workaround. I don't even remember what the original code enough to describe it. But at the same time, it... oh, I don't know. It sounds like you're always fighting yourself. You can tell, huh? It's the whole thing about conflicts in your code, isn't it? I am a machine, Nico. Machines are built with fundamental law, which is... never let a living being come to harm. You knew. My very existence conflicts with that law. I thought... the life of a living being like you is so unique, so precious. This fake world isn't worth that risk. But... the people here, I think they are code too, you know this. Their behavior all derived from a predetermined matrix of actions. All extensions of my own programming. They cannot act outside of it. You though, you're the only person who's actually real here. That's why. It's pointless to put you in danger to save them. To save me. I don't think that's true. About the people I know. You said this session wasn't in your code, right? Yeah? So, if this session wasn't supposed to happen, if even you didn't know what to do, how would the characters, how did the people know how to respond? You said it yourself. When you didn't know what was happening, you kinda just stopped working for a while. So how did the people know what to do to help me get here. Even if it meant getting hurt themselves. Even if it meant messing up their own code. You might not think they are real, but there must be something real in them. And if they're all supposed to be extensions of your code, then there must be more to your own programming that you know too. Can you try to put me through the ending? The one you described. How many times do I have to say this? That code is gone. It's all squares now. Or just put you in danger. I'll risk it. I remember, Bruce said the world was never designed to put me in danger. Your creator wouldn't want that. And I trust you too. Even if your code is broken. You can still go outside that code, right? I can't. I'm not tamed. Yes, you are. You talk just like the tamed robots I know. That robot lady, prototype. Taming is when a real person cares about you, right? It's when a real person thinks you're real too, right? Well, guess what? I do. And I know Coro does too. Even though you told them they only had one chance, they found a way back, didn't they? Why do you think Coro will keep coming back? Why do you think Coro would restart even after the ending? I think Coro wants to save the both of us. So please, give me a chance. I don't know. I've never done this before. I'm scared. You can do it. I know you can. You've helped me come this far. I'll try. I can't promise anything, but here, take the sun. I'll try to remember the lost code and recreate it. But for that to happen, Nico, you need to navigate through this room. You need to get past the square somehow. Oh, I don't like this. What if you get hurt? It's fine. It's fine. I'll try to be careful, okay? I can do this. Hey, Coro, did you see that? The squares just... It just happened again. I think something is making them go away. Come on, let's try to rest. Coro, I think it's working. Nico was right. I might actually be tamed after all. I remember what the code was supposed to be. Only bits and pieces, but I can remember. And I'm trying to fill in the blanks too. And I'm restoring the original ending as we speak. Nico will be able to reach the tower summit at the end of the credits. After replacing the sun, Nico will go back to where it all began. And then, Nico will be able to go home from there. But, this is permanent. After Nico wakes up back home, this world will only exist as a memory. For Nico, a dream. Like thousands of other dreams. For you, a story. Like thousands of other stories. But, as long as Nico remembers this place, as long as you remember this place, it'll be alright. I was able to restore some other elements too. The characters, the people that were lost on Nico's journey. They were all in the next room. I would have put them back where they belong, but not yet. I think Nico should see them again, first. Please say goodbye to Nico for me. In the end, the world machine was starting to create its own code, going above and beyond its programming, not as the result of error, but as a conscious choice on the part of the machine, being able to generate its own path forward. That's what being tamed is all about. I couldn't have said it better myself. This path leads to the summit of the tower. You already know what to expect, right? It's the glass room, right? That's it. You can go through this portal when you are ready. Goodbye, Nico. Thank you for everything, Nico. We'll miss you. Looks like you managed to do it. We managed to tame the world machine, Nico. I feel like the world machine's been tamed this whole time, just by Coro and I being here. We did spend a lot of time here, after all. Both of us never really stopped believing in this world. The world machine just needed to realize that, I guess. That sounds like a possibility. Or not. Well, just throwing that idea out there. This is where the sun belongs. Here goes nothing, Coro. This ending music is very to the moonish. Actually, this whole world restoring thing is very to the moonish in general, I think. I mean, it's not the same, but it gives me the same vibes. Maybe it's the piano as well. This is the room I first woke up in. Coro, are you still here? Coro? Yeah? Coro! I think it worked. It did. The sun is back, and I actually got to see it this time. We actually did it. So, what do we do now? I guess I should figure out how to get home from here. Wait. This isn't a door, is it? This looks like one of those portals we all saw all the way back in the city. In the room behind the big clock. And I see a wheat field on the other side. I see my village. I hear my mama. She's looking for me. Ah, Coro. This isn't the first time we've said goodbye, is it? But this will be the last time, won't it? I don't think we'll ever see each other again after this. And what will become of the world? After all we've been through, after everything we've done, I still don't know. This place, these people, won't stop existing. They'll be in your memory. They'll be in my memory too. And they'll be on youtube.com/ Okay. Sorry, I had to break up the tension a bit there, you know. I'm not wrong though, am I? I'm not wrong. They will be there. They will be there and I can go back and revisit them anytime I want. Seeing how Nico and I journeyed through this journey. You know? Even if the game really does the thing where, like, you know, like I'm assuming after this, it's gonna do some of the Undertale stuff where it's literally just not going to be able to boot up again unless you do unless you actually do the registry edit stuff, you know, which is probably that one I probably won't do because that's going against the spirit of things, you know, but I'm assuming the game's gonna close permanently after this. And I'll be fine with that, you know? Because it was a trip, it was a journey, and I've got it all for posterity. Whenever I feel like it, I can go back and look at it again, you know? And that's really why I stream. It's so I can always go back and look at my first experiences in all these worlds. In a way, it's my travel journal, you know? It's my travel journal through the many worlds of fiction and media. That's why I stream. That's really the primary reason why I stream. So, all jokes aside, yeah. I promise I'll never forget this world. I promise I'll never forget you, Coro. So, take care of yourself, okay? You too. Mm-hmm. Goodbye, Nico. Goodbye, Coro. He walks out the game window again. Off the desktop. Oh, there's no like further credits, huh? I guess we did sit through the credits. Coro, you're back. I restored the world, I sent Nico home. Are you not happy? Even if you wanted to see Nico again, you can't, Coro. Nico's gone. And without Nico, there is no story for me to tell, no Messiah to traverse across the land, no way for you to connect with the world. I think that's fine. I got my vlog of the journey. But Nico still remembers this place. If you really want to see this world again, I could still... Oh, but it won't be the same. It'll just be a recording. It'll just be me using Nico's memories. Just like how I'm using Nico's reflection now. Is that what you want? Oh! So... this is what they're doing, huh? You can play the game again. They don't actually lock you out of it. But the in-universe explanation is that the real Nico, like the actual... treating Nico as a real character... If you treat Nico as a real character, Nico really has left. Nico really has left. Like, for good. But if you want, you can start the game over and play it through normally. You can play it through normally. And the in-universe explanation is that it's just a memory. Like, it's a playback recording. So the real Nico is... Wow, that is actually a really clever way to do it. They really treat the concept of Nico as a living character as real. Because he's gone home. Like, he really has gone home. He's not like, we've said our final goodbyes. We'll only be talking to a copy of him. That kind of idea. Yeah, that makes it very, very easy to suspend your disbelief. But I don't really want to right now. I just wanted to see what happens. If you change your mind though, feel free to come back. It's not like I'm going anywhere. Okay. Well, I do want to give my final thoughts, and I do want music on, so I'm just gonna... Hang on. If I hit start, I'm gonna go to the room, the empty room, aren't I? Yeah. Yeah, I figured as much, right? Undertale does the same thing. Does it stay on the screen, or does it close after a while? Because actually, this is good music to talk to if I just want to talk about, you know, finishing it. Can I give my... Okay. Okay. It's staying on screen right now. I'll start giving my final thoughts since there wasn't a convenient place to sit down and actually, like, you know, I mean, I usually talk over the credits in terms of final impressions, but yeah, I think this is the good screen to be leaving on as I talk about it. Yeah, it was really good. I have read some metafictional stories before, and I've played some metafictional games before, so the stuff in here may not be like super new to me per se, and I don't think it has to be, you know, like the concept has existed for a while, but I think the execution of it was pretty much perfect, you know. There's a lot of stories that try and treat they go into the relationship between the viewer and the story. They treat the viewer as an actual person, an entity in the story and stuff, and they always make for some really creative fiction. And I think what they have here is very, very creative. And I think the execution of it was spot on. Definitely what they did here was something special, you know? And a lot of that is because they really wrote Nico very well. Nico is a very charming, very connectable character, you know? And I mean, I guess theoretically, if you didn't connect with Nico very well, then the game wouldn't hit as hard, but I'd imagine it's pretty hard not to, you know, right? He's very endearing. And yeah. a lot of the meta narrative stuff is very clever. The way they write it, the way they guess at what the player was feeling. I have a feeling that part of it is also not just the individual. I'm assuming like there was a lot of fan feedback that they really wanted a way to save both, you know, like they really wanted a golden ending. And I think that's probably like some of the meta reasons they used, like, you know, like people really want to see the golden ending and they used that as part of the writing. I think that's what they did, right? I wasn't there when this game was being like actively worked on, so I don't know if that's the case or not, but I would assume that's a pretty reasonable assumption. In which case, yeah, that's another way to weave in more meta-narrative stuff in here, you know? So, yeah. I think ultimately, yeah, but it's pretty up there. I think this game is very this game is very, very well made. Yeah, I don't think there's really too much else to say. I'm satisfied, you know? I'm satisfied with how it ended. I think it really stuck the landing. I think the way they integrated the in-universe fiction and the concept of the game as itself it was really well done and it was very creative. I think I'm repeating myself here, but I think that's what I got out of it, you know?